Excuse me. I'm back. So soon. Okay, I know there's nobody technically here yet, but listen, I knew I was forgetting something, and I talked to you guys for almost 2 hours last night. I'm sure there was a reason. There's always a reason when something doesn't work out the way um, you think it's going to, or the way it's going to. Or when you're looking at 50 pages of information and only kind of sharing little bits and pieces that are highlighted. So we're lucky. I guess we're lucky that I only left out one little teeny thing. However, this one teeny little thing is of massive, massive significance. Hold on, let me see. What is this little blue light thing? What's going on here? I have no idea. Okay. Hello and welcome. Someone's here. The comments are on. My intention is to come here and give you the little teeny piece of information that I forgot last night that is not teeny at all. It's actually ginormous. Is that really a word? Something's over. There's a massive walking away. Oh, I like that. Okay. Maybe I'm having problems again. Just real quick, I want to say I have not been watching David Wilcock for the last, I guess, 3 months. And today I saw that David Wilcock did a video called Drone No, as in drone, KNOW. And I thought maybe he's going to talk about the drones. But here's what was really bizarre. Like I said, I haven't watched David in about 3 months, but the reason I clicked on the video is the title was Drone No, KNOW. And when I clicked on that video, it said it was only 16 seconds long. So maybe he's having tech issues like I so often do, which I seriously doubt because he's a pretty technically advanced dude. But his video about the drones was 16 seconds, and 16 seconds. The number 16 is represented in the tarot by the tower. And the tower means lightning and thunder and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, basically. But that's talking about an awakening and a very unexpected event coming in. It's not something that happens to you or to the government or to the Illuminati or to whomever individually or on the world stage itself. When you have a tower moment means that everything is reduced down, torn away to rubble, both, like I said, depending on what we're looking at, could be in a personal way in your personal life. It could also be on the world stage. What I'm talking about here is on the world stage. What I talked about for an hour and 20 some minutes last night was also on the world stage in the significance of 12. But I thought it was very interesting that David Wilcock's video about the drones was taken down or went down in 16 seconds, and 16 represents again the tower and the tarot, meaning anything not built on a solid foundation shall crumble to the ground. I should have got the card out for you. But anyway, it's got lightning and people flying out the windows from the 4th floor and all kinds of very interesting things. The reason why I'm coming here is to those who, my light's going to keep on changing here, to those who watched the video last night, that was super duper long, and all of my just personal information. Okay, someone's here, but they're talking to themselves. Okay, I'm going to cover up the comments again. I have an hour and 20 minutes of information. Here's the part that I left off. So I had in some of the information that I brought to you last night, came through me speaking to a friend. I told you part of that. That's where kind of this snowball or this ball of wax got started. Um, on Tuesday, was that yesterday? I am so confused. I guess it was yesterday. So sometime, I think it was yesterday, this same person that I had all this, uh, started this, initiated this conversation about the importance of 12 and everything that was last night's video. And she sent me a video from a guy. His name is Joe Larson. So Joe Larson made a short video. If I was technically not challenged, I would post it here so you could directly watch it. It's Joe. Last name is Larson, Larson. And this is a part that I forgot to share with you last night. 2024 is a dodecahedron number, or a dodecahedron, meaning 12 flat faces. Now that's very, very interesting considering what last video was about, the significance of 12, about the significance of 12, 12, 24, and on and on and on. But the last thing I forgot to tell you is after this 40 so page of information came in, this person sent me a video from Joe Larson focused on the number of 12 and the fact that this 12/12/2024, that this year itself is a dodecahedron or a dodecahedral year. Okay, so a dodecahedral year has not happened since 1330 and will not happen again until 2925. So the significance of a dodecahedral year is 12 sets of instructions or 12 separate astounding or awareness or kind of tower moments. How very, very interesting. At least to me it is. So this dodecahedral year that we are now in will not happen again until 2025, and it hasn't happened since 1330. The emphasis is on the 12 different faces or flat faces of the dodecahedral. And last night's video was all about 12 and the zodiac and the disciples and the calendar and all of that. So 12 significance events, 12 set of instructions, which is what I was talking to you guys about. Each one built on the set of instructions in forum, or 12 very specific eye-opening, awakening world stage events that are also connected to the 11 other subjects or sets of instructions or other major events that are facing this domino effect. Sorry, someone's messaging me, which only happens when I'm making a video, I swear. So the importance, again, the emphasis and the importance on the number 12. Okay, so a dodecahedral year is connected to the shape, which is the concept that we are completing a cyclical time period, which is what the entire video was about last night, focusing on the significance of 12. 12 represents cosmic order, okay? So last night's hour and 40 minutes was focused on the number 12 within our DNA, within the zodiac, within the years, the 12 disciples. As I mentioned last night, 1 and 12 have been friends for an astronomically long time, and you may wonder what the significance is. If you missed last night's video, you may want to check that out. Also, the hero's journey, which many other people talk about. Now, who was the person that originally talked about that? I cannot remember the answer to that. Who was that? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, the hero's journey starts out as, the zero, the fool, somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. So the hero's journey is something that's been around for a really long time, but it's also the base for all script writing for movies, right? So step number 1, 0, is the fool in tarot. Now, I'm not telling you that they designed tarot because I'm telling you, they designed tarot and they designed the hero's journey. I can't believe that name just keeps coming to the top of my mind and disappearing. Also based on 12, the hero's journey was also based on 12 as well. So I forgot to tell you last night that this year is a dodecahedron or dodecahedron year, meaning looking at the 12 faces of the dodecahedron, 12 tribes, 12 strands of DNA, etc., etc., etc. Now, when you look back at things like ancient script, if you're like me, maybe you perhaps wondered why everything is so symbolic that sometimes, and many times you need a translator, and then things have been misquoted or intentionally mistranslated as well. But there were many things that they left behind of antiquity or artifacts, all kinds of things, but they were always reinventing a way, 1111, to make sure that we didn't forget the significance of something. And this morning when I woke up and realized that I forgot to give you the information that 1212 2024, that this was a dodecahedral or dodecahedron year, I realized the connection to the tarot and to the hero's journey. So somewhere along the way, even though we seem to feel that this is nothing more than a connection to divination, just like dowsing or a crystal ball or remote viewing, or any of these other things, fascinating things we've heard about. What I was clearly shown this morning is that the tarot itself, the first major 12 arcana cards, were specifically aimed at the 12, the information behind the 12 tribes and how it correlates to our DNA. So last night I spent quite a while working around in a circle trying to explain the phantasm of this many pages of notes. But then realized this morning that not only the hero's journey, but the first cards. So in the tarot deck, there's 78 cards, but 22 of those cards, there's that number, the master builder, right? 22 of those cards are what they call major arcana. And it goes from 0 to 21, and 0 is the start off. The inception point. For you, the 0 point or the inception point or the fool is coming in as a baby, right? Without necessarily the information, without parts and pieces or sequences of that DNA turned on. And then you move into the magician, and the magician is number 1, and it says you have all 4 aces. You can use your thoughts to manifest, you can use your words to manifest, you can use your actions to manifest, and it goes on and on and on, up and down, 6 ways till Sunday. I guess this information's not going to stop showing up with any kind of great fervor the way it has been since I think last night I said September. I don't even know why I said September, December 10th or 11th, and it's still coming in. If you know the tarot very well, you can just look at those cards and say, wow, there's your set of instructions, right? You're born, that's the 0 point, the start of the hero's journey. You know nothing, you're happy, you're smiling like a baby, but you don't know where you're going, right? You're just kind of experimenting. And that's what a baby, or, as a baby grows into an infant, into a child, that's what they do. They smile a lot, they experiment, and they don't take anything too seriously. We move into the magician, which is also in our DNA strand. The first DNA strand shows you how to use your thoughts, your emotions, your movements, everything to create. And then we move into the high priestess, which talks about connecting to your intuition, connecting to ancients and people on the other side of the veil. The intuition card, or the high priestess card, is sitting in between the pillars of light and darkness. Having the information, being connected to the higher aspects of yourself, the ancestors, your family on the other side, all of that. Then we move into the Empress, which is number 3. The Empress is about the fact that we use all these things prior that are literally built into each strand of the DNA, that we magnetize abundant, radiant, beautiful, sensual, amazing, fortuitous life. And then we move into number 4, which is about stability and how we take action. And it goes, I'm not going to go through the entire tarot. Our DNA in its inception point has these incredible things that lead to humanity or the human body becoming super conscious and a supercomputer. And I don't mean an AI or an artificial intelligence way. I literally mean that we are coming on, the consciousness is expanding, we're becoming super conscious, and then therefore becoming a supercomputer, right? Meaning we're in charge of this. We are the powerful ones. And I've been saying for a while, this shift right now is all about us moving into the power and not giving the power away. Whether you're giving the power away to um, astrology or there are truth in everything, but we're talking specifically here about giving the power away. So not giving the power away to anything external, when every single thing that you need to create, to manifest, to thrive, um, to become super aware, to become super conscious, to become a supercomputer is totally separate from artificial intelligence, and it's all already built into the DNA. And that's one of the reasons for um, artificial intelligence doing what it's doing now, is to try to put a cap on, like they removed the capstone from the pyramid, right? Kind of like they tampered with our DNA to put a cap on that as well, to cap the information about these 12 tribes, to cap the information about how quantum physics really worked. I told you I had received, and I read part of this to you last night, about a dual motor, meaning when we are in a quantum entanglement with someone or something, or even two neutrons or two electrons or whatever, are in that very, there's a balance that goes back and forth. Let's say it's two people. Let's say there's a quantum entanglement um, with two people who are on not an identical matching look-alike person, but let's say two people are on an identical frequency, and those two people are perfectly simpatico with one another. Those two people are perfectly resonant with one another. And what that does is it feeds an energy back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That energy may be filled with love. It may be filled with sensuality. It may be filled with information coming from the higher dimensions. But when you share that quantum entanglement and you're in this energetic exchange where I give something, you give back, I give something, you give back, and it keeps going. My notes from a couple of days ago was calling this dual motor. And you guys know that watch me on a regular basis that there is no science or quantum physics or anything else, um, in my education or anything else. So I always explain things the way that I see them, the way that makes sense to me. But what I was seeing on December 14th, when there is that simpatico and there is that perfect complementary energy. So not identical, we're just talking two different beings that are on the same frequency in an interchange that is completely complementary. It's a push and pull that goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then what that does is that creates an energy. And guess what? That's free energy. Now, even though I felt like a nutcase saying this, today I went to Google something. I can't even remember what. I have to look up so many things. When these things come through, a lot of these things that come through, I have no idea how to spell them. So that's initially why I'm looking them up. When I went to look up something today, there was an article that I actually sent Rennie And it was exactly what my message was about. And though they go into, we don't really know the finer specifics, and it's not going to replace, gasoline or fuel or anything like that. Well, that's only because they don't want it to replace that. But this perfect frequency match, this perfect symbiotic, spiritual, energetic, physical, um, this exchange that happens, this different, two, maybe even opposite things going back and forth in this frequency alignment, pushing, pulling, giving, receiving, exchanging, going back and forth, literally creates free energy. So when I went to Google something this morning, there was an article that came out on December 14th or 15th, which I believe is the day after I received that information. And why it's so important for you to pay attention to your intuition, or what you're hearing or seeing or feeling, is because you may feel like a nutball, like I have for several years. I've gotten way better at it. It doesn't help when people show up here intentionally to make fun of me and call me those very same names, when it took me such a long time to break out of fear, to bring this to you and deliver this to you without the education that goes with it. However, I've known for a really long time, because I was told in 2018 that if I had the information or the science or the quantum physics to back it up, I would never believe any of it, and I would never put it out. I would never share it with you. And part of that is not even just the sharing of certain information. A really big part of that is just so that humanity knows that it's okay to wake up, to become expanded, to allow your intuition to come through. And a lot of people are at the place where they're allowing and inviting all of that stuff to come through, right? But it can initially be very terrifying to share that. But the reason I'm telling you this is because the very most important thing is about you finding a way that you can move yourself and move others. Doesn't matter, um, the finer details. What's important is that you're trusting your intuition and how things are moving for you in your energy field, the information that's coming to you, and the fact that you can share it. It's less based on knowledge and more based on the fact that you can be brave and courageous and talk and share things, so that when other people see and feel and hear incredible and amazing things, that they also are not afraid to share those things, that we're not afraid to be brilliant, that we're not afraid to step out of the box and love, without knowing for sure that love is going to come in return. We're able to speak up. We're able to speak what we're now hearing or feeling or seeing. Know that it is now our personal truth, even if it changes tomorrow and next week. You see, we are able to be open, abundantly loving, truthing, using that throat chakra is very important, because when you're like wide awake, there's so many people that crown chakra is wide awake and all this stuff is coming in, but it's like they're getting stuck right here. It's so important. Doesn't matter if the physiology is perfect, or the quantum physics perfect, or the vocabulary is perfect. We all know that I'm certainly not a perfect speaker, public speaker, but I'm still speaking to the public. I'm still using my intuition and allowing what comes in to be shared with you, through expressing my thoughts and expressing my words. So it's such a critical time in this solar cycle, in this change, in this amazing, incredible time of awakening, that we are not only allowing and inviting ourselves to be brilliant, but we're just giving love, whether we're going to receive it or not. We are just able to open up, use the throat chakra, and also create things. So shine your brilliance on your passion and your desire. Shine your brilliance on what it is that you feel is here, that needs to be spoken about, and created within our world. Because without the expanded consciousness, without our evolution, without our super consciousness, we are just in a boring life where we're controlled and manipulated. And that's just not the way we're going here. So happy Dodecahedral year to all of you. I just wanted to add there what I forgot to share last night. So thank you so much for being here and so much love.